Lies are commonplace, and you hear them from the moment you're born to the day you die. From the midwife who tells your mother, "Don't worry, all babies are that ugly," to the friend who insists that 6 pints of vodka never hurt anyone. But some lies are more deeply ingrained than others. They can carry through generations and even centuries until the point where they become second nature. Number 10. Vikings wore horned helmets. Horned helmets add to the ferocity of these barbaric invaders, but they are incredibly impractical. Not only would they need to source, sculpt and fit a lot of animal bone, but doing so would be very detrimental on the battlefield. Sure, a few enemies would wet their pants and run away yelling for their mothers, but everyone else would see that their enemies have handlebars on their heads. Short of a mankini with a "stab me" sign on the crotch, horned helmets are the last thing you'd want to be wearing in a battle. Number 9. Samurais and their swords. Samurais were great warriors, there's no denying that, but our perception of them is somewhat twisted. Firstly, while the samurai sword was much sharper than anything else used in medieval Europe, it was a product of necessity more than anything else. They only had access to very low quality steel, forcing them to develop a unique folding technique. This technique would later become available to Europeans, only for them to abandon it because they had access to better steel. Secondly, the sword was a backup. They preferred bows and spears and only used the sword as a last resort. Number 8. Ancient Greece was colorless. The image we have of ancient Greece is of pure white togas, statues and buildings, but ancient Greece was a colourful place. Those togas were dyed, those statues were painted, and believe it or not, the Parthenon was a mixture of red, blue and green. Over the years, these pigments have faded, leading to the belief that ancient Greece was all white. Number 7. The pyramids are unchanged. If you think the pyramids are amazing now, you should have seen them when they were constructed. The exposed brick we see today was not present. The entire surface was coated in limestone before being polished within an inch of its life. The end result was a flat, gleaming surface that could be seen for miles around when it caught the sunlight. Number 6. You can kill someone dropping a penny from the Empire State Building. This belief has been around as long as the Empire State Building has, and it's simply not true. A penny is light and has a tendency to tumble over itself, thus creating a lot of wind resistance and limiting its terminal velocity. It won't kill you. In fact, it won't even injure you. Number 5. You can see the Great Wall of China from space. The Great Wall of China is big, very big. But you can't see it from space. The myth was started by Ripley's Believe It or Not back in 1932. Those guys rarely let us down, but they dropped the ball on this one. You can see oceans from space and land, there's lots of that, but you can't make out much else. Number 4. What Jesus looked like. Jesus probably existed. We're not saying that he was the Son of God or anything, that's a rabbit hole that we don't want to go down, but historic texts suggest that he was at least a human being. The problem is, he didn't look like every single painting you've seen of him. Those representations were a product of the Renaissance, white men in a white country painting their leader in their image. The real Jesus of Nazareth was Middle Eastern, which shouldn't come as a surprise considering Nazareth was, you know, in the Middle East. Number 3. Banana flavouring comes from an extinct banana. This amazing fact has it that the reason banana flavouring tastes nothing like actual bananas is because it's based on an extinct variety of the fruit known as the Gros Michel. But as cool as this would be, it's not true. This unique flavour comes from a compound known as isomol acetate, which has a unique flavour profile and is used to flavour both banana and pear candies. Number 2. More people are alive than have ever lived. This is a frightening statistic, or it would be if it was true. The human population of Earth is higher than it has ever been, that much is true. But estimates suggest that the total number of dead is over 107 billion, which is a good 100 billion more than are alive right now. Although, now that we think about it, that is considerably more terrifying. Number 1. Stonehenge has survived untouched for thousands of years. Stonehenge is old, that much is true, and we're not here to besmirch this impressive British monument. Well, not entirely. The issue with Stonehenge is that few people realise just how much work has gone into it over the years. Centuries ago, visitors would etch their names into the monument, chip away bits of stone, and generally piss all over any historic value that Stonehenge had. By the 20th century, it was a mess, forcing new owners to restore it. They stacked fallen stones back up, they used cement to stabilise roof stones, and they added masses of concrete. There is actually a conspiracy theory that claims Stonehenge was built in the 20th century. It seems to base this belief entirely on the evidence of this concrete, because no one ever let a little research and evidence get in the way of a good conspiracy theory. Thanks for watching another Daily Top 10's Top 10 video, and remember, it's our duty to entertain and yours to subscribe.